never had alcohol. You don't drink alcohol?
I've tasted alcohol, but
Yeah.
no, I'm not a drinker. At a young age, I realized that I had a very weak mind. I want nothing to interfere with my own thought process. If you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. That fires me up because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. And that's where I gain the advantage. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. That is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself.
See, alcohol is one of the most dangerous and addictive drugs in the world. It kills more people than all illegal drugs combined, and tens of millions of people in the world suffer with alcohol addiction. And most people aren't even aware that this is an addiction. But if you want to see one of the most perfect clips that I've ever seen that's related to not drinking alcohol, listen to what David Goggins has to say.
I'm not training for a race. I'm training for life. I'm training for the time when I get that 2 o'clock in the morning call that my mom is dead or something happens tragic in life. I don't fall apart.
We need to unpack this because the other day I was texting my brother. So I've not drank for 7 years, and I tried to stop for like 10 years. So it was just stopping and starting. Nothing was working. You know, AA meetings didn't work. Willpower didn't work. Reading books didn't work. Nothing worked. But during the decade that I drank for, I wanted to change. So I remember I used to write a lot of journals, goal setting. I would do these things and like the goals, I'd hardly make progress. But anyway, one theme that kept coming up every time that I'd write in my journal was I wanted to make me better and stop drinking and improve my life and my fitness and my health and all these things because I have a younger brother. So I'm in my 30s, my brother is 19. So I always wanted to set a good example to him. And when I drank, I'd always think, like in the morning after when I was hungover, I'd be like, man, if my brother saw me right now, he'd think I'm an idiot. So that was always a pretty deep motivator for me. Because I stopped 7 years ago, he would have been 12, we've ended up developing a very good relationship. And I like to think that I have set a positive example for him or to him. At least it was a damn sight better than when he was aged 2 to 12. So anyway, he shares some motivational things with me, I share some with him, we go back and forth with texts, and I got onto this David Goggins video. I'm quite sure he sent me this one, and I was actually running at the time, funnily enough, because he's always talking about running, and that's what the clip is about. And I heard that clip, and I don't know if this ever happens to you, but sometimes you'll hear a piece of information, and it's almost like you get flashbacks where you'll reflect on your life and be like, oh my gosh. So when I saw this, he's talking about he's training for life, not a race. And I'm not going to tell you to go and run hundreds of kilometers. This has got nothing to do with running. But when I heard it, I just reflected for a moment. I just looked back and I thought, damn, he's really talking about when things go wrong, I want to be the person that doesn't crumble. I want to be the person who's not spineless, right? That's strong, that's able to handle it. And I was like, oh my gosh. When I drank, if there was a catastrophe, somebody got a health problem, had to drive somebody to a hospital, I wouldn't have been there for them. I'd have been drunk. I'd have been like, we need to call a friend. We need to get a taxi. Now, don't get me wrong. I was blessed to stop drinking in my 20s when I had far less responsibilities than I have now. But now I'm in my 30s, responsibilities start building up, life gets more intense. And it hit me after watching that clip. I don't need to run a marathon or run an ultra marathon or whatever the heck he does. As long as I don't drink, I am that person. See, in his clip, he's really talking about major bad things that happened, but it isn't about that. When you drink alcohol, it's not just about being able to drive somebody to a hospital. What are you going to do one day if your child comes in and they've been bullied, but you're smashed? You're on the couch, you've half a bottle of wine already gone, you've got the rest of the wine to finish, and he comes back and he's like, Mum, Dad, this kid was pushing me around, and you're just like, do I need to have that conversation now? Are you going to be there for them in those moments? What about when you're tired, but you know you need to do something to improve your work? Are you going to step up and do it? And what are you going to do when bad news comes? Because whether you drink or not, bad things will happen. Are you going to be the person that can handle it and take it on the chin and lead your family through pain and suffering and whatever's going on? Or are you going to escape? Are you going to go to the bottle and just numb out, just forget about it, and then hope it all goes away? I don't think you want that path. I don't think you want to be that person. I think you want to be the person that doesn't drink, that accepts challenges and handles them. I think you're somebody that wants to get sober and take care of business. See, it's hard. It's hard to do this when you're so used to numbing out with a bottle, when you're so used to just escaping life and not facing things. When you finally stop drinking and you need to face things head on, that is a challenge. And you might not be used to it, but you can do it. You can become that person that doesn't escape anymore. When I saw this clip, I was just like, man, it hit me really, really, really nicely in the heart.